Have you seen my previous video? Have you asked yourself, how is that man a veteran? Or maybe, why does his sample size seem so small? Well, do I have the thing for you, my loyal viewer? I'm redoing the video today! In case you haven't seen the previous video, this video is going to be about me asking the Warframe community what they feel about Warframe. So I'm going to have a way higher sample size. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Most of the reviews are going to come from the comments of the last video. You know, it is what it is. This is a way easier way of doing it than just sitting there in the Warframe chat for literal hours. So thank you guys so much for the review. I figure we're going to use the same preliminary questions. I'll go over them quickly, just like the last video. Of course, we start with how long have you been playing Warframe? Then we go into how many hours you have in Warframe, what's their current mastery rank in Warframe, what kind of content they primarily focus on. The main difference between last video and this video is we're going to use some preliminary questions to separate the people into different groups beforehand. So while you guys may fit into multiple different categories, I'm only going to be putting you guys into one. Now I want to say, with all this information gathering and statistic work, this video was very hard to make. So once again, I'm asking you to comment, like, and subscribe just for the algorithm, just to get this push out even more. Appreciate it so much. So let's get started. Let's talk about the archetypes we're trying to fill and how we're going to define them this time. So after more thought into the whole process of defining these archetypes, I think we're going to go with low MR instead of newbie. We're keeping casual player, high MR instead of veteran, fashion framer is staying, and finally we're changing clan leader to material grinder just because I feel like no one can really relate to being a clan leader. Let me know what you think about this change. I really think this is better for the video. I don't know, you guys know better than me, so let me know. First up, we have the low mastery rank player category. This is definitely one of my smaller groups of people that I had in the comment section. So the statistics might be skewed a little bit just because there's less population there. So of course, like with anything else that I'm saying, take it with a grain of salt. We have people starting all the way back from 2014 to more recent times, like literally this year, 2024. The sample size for this one specifically was 7 people, 7 low MR players, and this is what they rated the game. Gameplay mechanics, 8.86. Content quality and quantity, 9.43. Visuals and art design, 9.86. Story and lore, 9.43. Community and multiplayer experience, 7.86. New player experience coming in at 4.57, very low. Replayability, 9.14. And overall monetization and fairness, we got a 9. Across the board, we're looking at a pretty nice game for, you know, newer players, but the only thing that sort of sucks about the game is getting started. This is evident by the new player experience being the lowest rating that we've ever had, and I think this is going to be a reoccurring theme. Personally, I don't know any way to like fix this for the game, but I know that a lot of people had a lot of things that they wanted to say on this topic, so wait till the end and we'll get into that. Next up, we have some of the most dedicated players because they have to grind for every cosmetic they want. Fashion framers! In this category, we got people all the way back from 2015 to 2019-ish, so it's like, it's all not veterans, but older players. So they were asked the same set of questions, so let's crack right into it. Gameplay mechanics, they said 9. Content quality and quantity, 9. Visuals and art design, 10. Story and lore, 9.33. Community and multiplayer experience, 8. New player experience coming in with a 4. Very low once again. Replayability, that's an 8.67. Monetization and fairness, that's a 9.67. Once again, we're seeing that reoccurring thing where everything is just perfect about this game almost. Just about everything except for starting the game off. Well, hey, I was just talking about starting the game off. Let's talk about the people who started off, started on, started off, started on, started off again. Ooh, best segue. We're talking about casual players. I just want to say casual players were sort of just people who didn't fit in any of the categories. It wasn't just necessarily people who started the game on and off. But anyways, here's their rates. Gameplay mechanics, 9.5. Content quality and quantity, 8.75. Visuals and art design, 9.5. Story and lore, 9.25. Community and multiplayer experience, 8. New player experience, 4.25. We're just going to keep moving on. Replayability, 8. Finally, monetization and fairness, 9.25. You know, once or twice you can maybe write it off, but 3 times is way too many to be considered a coincidence. It's becoming very evident that new player experience needs to be revamped in some way. But hey, maybe if you listen to these tips at the end of the video, ooh, maybe it'll be a little bit easier for you. Ooh, I don't know, maybe. Next up, we have the material grinders. These are just the people who spend a lot of their time grinding for materials. Starting off, we have gameplay mechanics, 9. Content quality and quantity, that's another 9. Visuals and art design, 8.7. Story and lore, 7.8. Community and multiplayer experience, 6.9. That's a little on the low side. New player experience, that's a 4. Replayability, 8.2, and monetization 8.5. You know, overall, it's basically the same as all the other rates, but I am interested in seeing why the community and multiplayer experience is a little bit on the lower side. On this one specifically, material grinders complain that the complexity of the game is a little bit overwhelming for new players. The community has a mix of positive and negative interactions, and although there's a lot of great group activities, there are certain parts of the games that just feel a little too isolated. Finally, we have the high MR players. These are players from all the way back in 2013. I think that's the furthest back one I saw. You know, these are people who've been around a while. They know what they're doing, okay? So here's their ratings. Gameplay mechanics, 8.3. Content quality and quantity, 8.7. Visuals and art design, 8.37. Story and lore, 8.20. Community and multiplayer experience, 8.57. New player experience, 5.70. Replayability, 8.40. And for the last time, monetization and fairness, 9.04. Now, it's a little odd that the new player experience goes a little bit up for these older players, but this is pretty indicative that the new player experience is a little bit different from how it was back in the day whenever they started playing. Bad thing is that it looks like it's for the worse. It could be something with a skewed sample size. There are, what, 50 high MR players and like a total of 20-ish, and that's pushing it, of every other player combined. But if the statistics are true and it wasn't skewered, then this is a pretty cool thing to be able to see. Not for the game, but it's a little bit cool that we can see this through the results of the review. The results of your guys' review was very clear. This game is amazing in every aspect other than the new player experience. There's not much to say on that aspect of it. If we were to look at how to improve your experience as a new player, here's some of the tips that you guys have left. I tricked you. You thought we were going to go straight into the tips. You were wrong. Basically, I just want to let you know, doing the same thing but with Valor and CSGO. Some other games. If you want to, you know, be in the review, go into the description. I've got more information there. Walrus Emperor says, the early game progression path is hard to follow after finishing Vor's Prize. Primarily newer players should be finishing levels and unlocking new planets to travel to, as well as exploring the open world areas and settlements they encounter, while also learning about their systems. Those settlements being Fortuna on Venus and Cestus on Earth. They also say upgrading/modding your gear is also a large part of damage output and performance within Warframe. Basically, they're just trying to stress the importance of modding your weapons. Finally, Walrus Emperor says, the game story practically begins with the second dream quest. Everything before that is only the beginning. The build up is long, but the payoff is well worth it. Basically, to sum up everything he just said, always mod your weapons. It makes them better. It can never make it worse. A little Sam fun fact I'm throwing in with this one. Me personally, I prefer a less amount of mods, but having the mods more upgraded. Walrus also said that you should be exploring everything, every like little blip on the map you get. I think he's saying this so then you can go master your planets. Mastering a planet is whenever you do everything on the map of the planet, and after you've mastered the planet, you get a lot of mastery experience. So it's a really nice way to just get mastery rank. Also, he says you need to visit your settlements. That is true. You need to grind standing for them, because even though you may not need any of the recipes right now, later on in the game, you will need standing specific blueprints. So in my opinion, it's always nice to be passively grinding this. On to the next person. Ibiro25 says, if you still get free platinum from starting the game, you should use it on your Warframe slot and weapon slots. It helps a lot. He also says you should play the first couple planets in solo, just because you would lose a lot in multiplayer trying to keep up, but I think it should be fine if you're playing with other players who aren't like mega over leveled. And on the platinum thing, I agree. If you still get free platinum from starting the game, definitely get weapon slots, get Warframe slots. That it makes it easier for you to mastery Warframes and mastery guns, so then your mastery rank goes up. Pixel Plan says, skip open worlds, go to Mercury, then Mars, then Ceres, and Void. Get into a clan, don't be afraid of the modding system, learn to bullet jump, don't be afraid to ask for a taxi when you need certain resources. I agree with some of this. I don't think you should skip the open worlds. The open worlds are all very cool, especially first time seeing them. I would definitely suggest checking them out. Other than that, I would suggest to get into a clan. It makes crafting easier, makes finding people to help you easier. It's a really good option. I'm early. I really don't know how to say that one. I'm so sorry. Says the community usually does not bite. Feel free to ask for help whenever you need it. Also, take the first couple of boss fights solo, just so then you can see how cool the mechanics are, and then after that you can let your friends or just random people one-shot them. They also say that you should invest your starting platinum in weapon or Warframe slots. Oh, look at that. Savitar, God of Speed, also says that you should spend your free platinum on slots. Telly the One says, do the star chart and take your time. It's not a race. Don't even worry about Steel Path. It doesn't really matter till you're later in the game. Collect every resource you can find, because most of them will become useful, even if it's for something as stupid as like decorations. They also say don't waste your platinum on cosmetics and until you have some extra, which I mean I agree with, but if I see a cute little cosmetic, I'm gonna get it. I agree with everything, especially the do the star chart. That is one of the most important things that I've seen that I personally didn't even know that I was supposed to do. I didn't even know matching plants was a thing until recently. Bam, that's all the tips. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I just reinvented the entire video. I hope it was able to give you more of an insight into what the average Warframe player is thinking about the game. And then I hope if you're for the tips, you know, the tips I could provide were useful in some way. Thank you for watching. Ooh, check out these new videos that I'm working on. I need people to submit their own personal reviews for these games. So if you want to join in or help or submit your own review, you can go to the comments, let me know there. You can join the Discord, let me know there. You can go to my Twitch, let me know there. I mean, that's not really the preferred way to go for it. You can let me know there, but also just look out in the descriptions for any of my new videos, and I usually post before I'm doing it. Also do the liking and commenting. Please, I need this video to go out. Here's the videos. We only have 2 preliminary questions this time. That being, what is your competitive rank? And have you played the other game? The other game being Valorant if you play CSGO, or CSGO if you play Valorant. After that, they're asked to rate certain aspects of the games, and these are the categories. We have gunplay mechanics, map design, movement, game mode variety.